Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista, here on YouTube, and today is Monday, June 6th. So today has been a fine day. It is about 2:20, and I got done work about 15 minutes ago. Not a hard day, which I welcome those, trust me. I had my hepatitis B, my first one today. Hepatitis B vaccine, 3 appointments. So today, a month later, so I have another appointment in July, and then 6 months. So I have another appointment in December for the third one. So yeah, another pair of my readers from the dollar store, which, dude, I love these from the dollar store. These and the teal ones. These I usually take with me when I go to like my stitching retreats. But yeah, I don't even wear my regular glasses anymore. I've stopped fighting with it. And my eye appointment is in a month. So what I do is when I'm at the computer, I wear them like this because I can see the computer, and then to read documents, I use these. So yeah, I'm probably going to need like bifocals or something. I don't know what they're going to do when I go there. But you know, glasses are not cheap, and I like the ones they have there, though. Like, I had my Kate Spade ones. I mean, I've had some really cool ones, so we'll see. All right, so I didn't do much crafting yesterday. Bill and I did my video, and then we had dinner. Meatloaf turned out good. We're going to have it again tonight because, you know, we have enough that it can be for both of us for 2 nights. And yeah. So I started coloring Sweet Selena yesterday, and I messed up her skin. So just threw that in the trash. Because I don't make a copy because I use the artist edition paper. And that's okay. I'm not upset. I was trying something different, and it didn't work. And it looked awful. So I just pulled out another one from that book. This one is called Fragile Heart. So this one is like this way. And it's all done in like, her hair is like bright pinks and stuff. So that should be a lot of fun to do. And I saw another person, you know, a couple people have asked me what I use for the skin. I use peach and light peach, but then like for the shading, I was using pink. But I watched a video where someone used Parma Violet. So I'm going to try that. But I'm not going to go crazy. Like, you know, I tried to just go nutso with the shading, and you only need like a very little bit. So yeah, I'm going to start coloring that tonight. My job tomorrow doesn't start until 2 p.m. So might try to stay up a little bit tonight and do some crafting, do some stitching and some coloring. I mean, I have time now when I'm done doing this video because I've already prepped for tomorrow and everything. But yeah, so I had gotten up, you know, I cleaned the stove, washed Bill's bed sheets. You know, I did, you know, doing stuff like that every single day too. But I forgot to tell you guys. When we were at the park Saturday, so we get Subway, we take our camping chairs. There's vast areas to just sit, right? So we're sitting. Bill's like, someone's smoking marijuana because I smell it. And I'm like, I don't smell anything. And then I did smell it. And literally, like 15 seconds after that, here comes the park rangers in their vehicle. And they stop in front of us. And we're like, hi. And they're like, hi, how you guys doing? Good. Are you guys smoking marijuana? I busted out laughing. No. Bill and I looked at each other. I was like, no, we're not. He's like, the way the wind was blowing, it was like coming this way. So they're like, okay, thanks. Have a good day. And they left, and I looked at him. I was like, are we smoking marijuana? Get out of here. No. I couldn't help but bust out laughing because I have plenty of bad habits, but that's not one of them. And no shame on anyone who decides to do that. You do you. It's just not for me. I've never even tried marijuana. Not once. So, Bill did when we were kids, he said, and it wasn't, yeah. Anyway, that was a really good laugh that we had. So I did a teensy tiny bit of stitching yesterday on Be Happy by Primrose Cottage Stitches, the first one. And I love the colors they picked. And you know, I have to say, I love Sulky because of the coverage, but I love the vibrancy of DMC. I feel like, in my opinion, that DMC is much more vibrant. Plus, they have a billion more colors, of course. But here is my teeny tiny start. I have a P in Happy because the first one I'm stitching is a B and then the word happy. Remember, I'm stitching them in 3 different sections. And I really do think I'm going to keep this washi tape as the border, because I pulled out the scrapbook paper that I have I'm going to use for these, and I think it'll go. I do. I think it'll go. So I hope to get more of this done today using 1 strand on 18 count perforated paper. Love the paper so much. Cannot gush enough about the paper. I have the paper linked in every video. I got it from 123 Stitch. Whoever told me that they have it, thank you, because I did not know that. And yeah. So that's it. That's all I got. Not much. We're going to read a little miracle story. I started watching The Truth About Pam last night. I don't like it. I stopped watching it. It's got to grab me. There's too much stuff to watch out there. I know I read the story on my channel. I didn't like it. So, I'm going to be finding something else to watch. All right. So, the next story. Let's see how long this one is. Not too long. 2 pages. All right. Carol Anderson was a young widow whose husband had died of cancer at 35. Oy. Oh. Bob Edwards was a young widower whose wife had been killed in a car accident at 29. Dude, the heartstrings. I can't even. Both marriages had been extremely happy, and both Carol and Bob were sure they would never love or marry again. And you know what? I get that. Not to get too personal here, but one of my mom and stepdad's close friends, and she's, I want to say she's my age or a little older. She lost her husband to COVID in December of last year. And they had been like high school sweethearts. And they had no children. And it's been so completely devastating for her. I've only met her a handful of times. And I only met him once. And it's just so heartbreaking because I'm a friend of hers on Facebook. And I get it. Like, I can't even imagine what it's like. You probably think you will never find someone again. Yeah, I get that. All right, so after many lonely years of pain and suffering, they met at a church dinner and started courting. When they got engaged and then married, they told everyone it was miraculous that they had found each other. Their relationship was strong and loving. The only trouble spot in their marriage was that they had diametrically different opinions on what to do about the past. Okay, I hope they explain that more, because what does that mean? Oh, a little tangent. We're going to pause on Carol and Bob's story for a second. When I was coming home today from the doctor, there was a gentleman hitchhiking on the side of the road. And I have to say, I was so surprised because I did not think that people still did that, because, boy, can you not, I wouldn't be doing nothing like that. Just my opinion. He was walking on a stretch of road that, dude, I wouldn't be walking on either. Hardly any shoulders, so someone not paying attention, he's going to get hit. But I always think, like, what's happened that you're hitchhiking? Yeah. I can't imagine it. Anyway, it really floored me. And there's no way I'd ever be stopping for somebody, because you literally can't trust anybody. By the way, I have been getting so many instant messages on Facebook from Instagram accounts, and I know they have to be trying to hack my account. And here's how I know. If you ever message me and say, how are you doing today? I'm blocking you, because there have been times where I've responded. This was a while ago, and they want to tell me about they need money, or you know, have I met Jesus or something along those lines where they're trying to get something from me. So I don't even play around anymore. If that is what they say, how are you doing today? Nope, you're getting blocked. It's happened 3 times in the last 2 days. I don't know what the hell's going on, but yeah. Okay. Back to Carol and Bob now. So they are opposed to what to do about the past. Carol longed to bury it. Bob needed to explore it. Carol never wanted to talk about either of their previous marriages. Bob, on the other hand, was eager to know the most minute details of Carol's life before they had met, and was hurt that Carol showed such a complete lack of interest in his. Why raise ghosts? Carol would ask when Bob would persist with his gentle probings and soft inquiries. Memory should be preserved, not obliterated, he would reply. This went on for years, with Carol's perspective ultimately prevailing. So, as a result, they never shared stories, pictures, or mementos from their first marriages. Now, my first husband didn't die. We were divorced, and Bill's been married 2 other times before me. So, there are instances where something will trigger a memory, and we will talk about it. I feel like I do it more than him. I try not to do it. I don't do it too much now. I mean, Bill and I have been together for 13 years, so we've been together quite a long time. I mean, double the time. I was only with my first husband for 6 years total. We were only married for 4, together for 6. And there's a fine line, though, because, you know, you don't want to keep bringing that stuff up, right? Okay, so 10 years later, Carol felt that their marriage was secure enough to withstand any assaults from the past. Okay, she told Bob one day, I'm ready to talk. She began telling Bob about her first marriage and pulled out several snapshot albums she had hidden from him all these years. These are from our honeymoon, she said, starting to leaf through the pages of one album. We went to France. Oh, here we are at Lourdes. Is that how you say that? You went to Lourdes? Bob said with mild interest. So did we. Well, I guess half the world goes to Lourdes, Carol laughed. No big deal. Everyone's looking for blessings and miracles in their lives. Wait a second, Carol. Turn back a page, said Bob suddenly. Let me see that snapshot again of you and Ralph at Lourdes. So Carol was like, okay, and she turned back the page. Carol, her husband asked tensely, who's that couple in the background? I have no idea, she said. Just as the photographer snapped the picture, a couple walked by and got caught by the shutter. I can see why you asked, though, thinking they were with us. In the picture, it does look as though they're standing behind us, almost as if they're posing, but it's just an illusion. You're wrong, Carol, Bob said slowly. It wasn't a mistake. It was destiny. You see, that couple in the background is me and my first wife. Can you imagine? What? I bet Carol fell right out of her chair. Because you would be like, what? So, here's the comment. Who was the author of that? It doesn't say. Millions of people travel to Lourdes each year. What were the chances of Carol and Bob not only being at the same place at the same time, but also coincidentally appearing together in a photo at the Holy Shrine? When the picture was taken, they lived in different parts of the United States and were not members of the same association, organization, or tour group. They were not connected to each other in any way except in God's plan. The people who make pilgrimages to Lourdes are more often than not the ill, the infirm, and the elderly, rather than young people like Carol and Bob. Life had just begun for each couple, and seemingly neither Bob nor Carol needed a miracle. But they did. Only they hadn't known it at the time. Holy shit, right? Now, here is something that's really funny. And I think I've told this story on my channel before. So, you know, Bill and I grew up across the street from each other and hung out as kids. I mean, we went all the way from middle school all through high school together, but no romantic connection. It was never like that. And so when I was in college, so 96 from 98 until 2000, I worked at the party store down the street. Okay. Now I hadn't seen Bill in like probably 3 years, because when we were seniors, he moved to this neighborhood that we live in right now. We still went to the same school, but we didn't see each other in the neighborhood. You know, everyone's driving, we got jobs, all that kind of stuff. He comes into the party store, and I was just floored. I was just like, oh my God, how have you been? Haven't seen you in so long. It was very close to Valentine's Day. He needed a gift for his girlfriend, who is my stepdaughter's mother, you know, his first wife. And we used to make these things called, what the hell was it? A stuffer, balloon stuffer, where it was a base of 6 small balloons that you hot glued together. But there was this machine that you would put a big balloon, it would expand this big balloon, and you could put stuff in it. So he said, I need a gift for my girlfriend. What do you suggest? And I suggested one of these big balloons. And, you know, you put a stuffed animal in it, you put little gifts around it. And then what he did was, so I didn't, obviously, okay, great, you're doing this for your girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. Years later, when we got together, he was like, do you remember, you know, back when I came into the party store that day and you made that balloon thing? Now, I was the only one working at the store at the time, at that moment. So I had to be the one to make the balloon. He said, I gave that to, you know, my stepdaughter's mom as a Valentine's Day present. And he had done like a little scavenger hunt, and that was like the final thing. And we just thought it was so funny. Like, what are the odds that I would have been the one to make that present for her, and then, you know, him and I get together. I don't know if we've ever told his ex-wife that story. I'm going to have to remember that the next time. Like, now that my stepdaughter is grown, my stepdaughter's going to be 23 this month. We don't see them very much. Like once a year, maybe at her birthday or something. But yeah, I don't know if we ever told them that story, and that's just so comical, right? That just this town is such a small world. It really, really is. That I was the one that made that. We made a ton of those. They were like amazing gifts. Everybody wanted them. And some people would bring in, now the opening was like this big. So you could stuff a stuffed animal in it because you could like squish it and get it down in there. People would bring in things and I'm like, I can't fit that in a balloon. It's going to pierce the side. You wouldn't even believe it. Wouldn't believe it. Okay. There was some good times working at that party store. My boss was fantastic. It was probably the most fun job that I had. They closed during the week at 8 p.m. and then Saturday at 6 p.m. and Sunday at 3 p.m. So, I mean, I worked full time there while I was going to college, but I never really had to work like late. So it was great getting off at 8 o'clock on a Friday. You know what I mean? And they loved my grandmother. My grandmother would always bring them like cakes and cookies and stuff like that. And they gave her, I want to say I got a 25% discount there, and they would give that to my grandmother too. Just such wonderful people. And then years later, when I was divorced from my first husband and living in my first apartment, she died of lung cancer. So, she had smoked for a long, long time and quit, but it didn't matter. Okay. How are we going to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022? Excellent tear. That was a really good one. All right. You're dozing off at the wheel of your life, maintaining a loop of the past, and at some level, you know it. I listened. So, you know, yesterday when we had like the debacle with the refrigerator and that kind of stuff, I don't like having contention or tension with Bill. Because when he's irritated and anxious, I absorb like that energy. So when he went outside and we were done cleaning that up, I listened for like a good hour of YouTube videos about, it's from the channel Above Inspiration, but like God's timing, being at peace, letting things go, all of that. And it did calm me down. But I listened more today to it. It was a good way to start my day. So this morning I listened to a bunch more, and yeah, I mean, if you believe in God, right? You have to think that things happen because he wanted to happen. Things don't happen because he wanted to happen. You know, we maintain the illusion of control. Now, we have free will. We do have control over some things. But if you're really struggling in an area and you believe that there is a God, you just need to ask him for help, right? And one of the things that I listened to stressed that most people live in one of two areas, in the future or in the past. You know, you're regretting the past and you're worrying about the future. And I mean, we're all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it too. But lately, I've really tried to just stay literally in this day, because tomorrow will have its own troubles. Like, you literally, and you don't know if you're even going to be here tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen. So you have to try to enjoy the moment right now. Like me filming this video for you guys. Okay. I'm going to end that here. I did not even think that was going to be 20 minutes, but that wonderful miracle story. Love that book. I can't even with that book, right? As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and spending about 21 minutes of your day with me today. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.